Yeah, Billy Blundell, a nice guy, man. Uh, I met him in Maidstone prison. I met him, Vicky Dark, Ricky Curly, Billy Hayward. I've met a lot of people in Maidstone prison, mate. Vicky Dark was a nice guy. Vicky Dark, you don't hear a lot of people talk about Vicky Dark. He's very quiet. But believe me, Ricky Dark was a very dangerous man. Very powerful, very strong. Strong in his mind as well. Everybody, when I was at Mason Prison, had a lot of respect for Vicky Dark. A lot of respect. Vicky Dark used to see him in the gym nearly every day. He loved his kickboxing. He loved kickboxing. I mean, his legs were like I mean, he stretched. He was stretched for like an hour. His back, his legs, and but he could touch. He could touch the top of the window in the gym. His legs were just straight up, easy. You know what I mean? Very flexible. Yeah, but very powerful. I mean, any man that can do sit-ups with what 220 kilo weights. That's 88 pounds, doing sets of 10s, 15s, 20 sit ups. That's going some, and it isn't from the floor, it's from an inclined bench, yeah? Yeah, Vicky Dark, mate, very powerful, very respected man, and, I would never ever say anything different against Vicky Dark. As I say, you don't hear a lot about him, but you haven't got to hear a lot about him because he's a dangerous person. I like Vicky Dark, mate. I used to really like him. Billy Blundell, man. I mean, I idolised Bill. I thought Billy Blundell was a very powerful person in himself. You know, you could walk around with him. You could walk around with Bill, and just feel comfortable. Yeah, just feel comfortable. And with a guy called Ricky Curly and Billy Blundell were very close. Uh, both in, I think they was both in the same ring. I think they were both in Medway. But Bill, nice man. But he can really have it, Billy Blundell. He could really have it, mate. In Mason, they had bags in there, they had gloves in there. And you could get in there and smash each other to pieces, mate. It was one of them sort of places. But you had to do it with gloves on. You couldn't do it bare fist. I mean. But Billy Blundell, he could fight, mate. Bill, short man, 5'8", uh, but very powerful stature, very powerful in his build. He wasn't a muscular geezer. He was just very powerful, very powerful. But something like Rocky Marciano sort of build, yeah. Yeah, man, he was. He could bang. He could bang. I see him and Ricky Curly sparring. I always wanted to spar with Bill, but I was a little bit too big for Bill. I was about 18 and a half, 19 stone. Bill, I don't know, maybe 13, 14 stone. But he had the thing about left hooks. Crash, come over the top of the left hook. And when Ricky Curly, I was very close with Ricky Curly, nice fella, Rick. And when we done the marathon, half marathon, around the inside of the prison, right there around Mason prison, inside of it, I had a big pair of boots on. Ricky Curly had a pair of boots on, and we done the half marathon, yeah. And I'm trying to really get there's a paper, right, Mason and Gazette or something, I suppose. When I was in Mason prison, and I done, I think it was 1,000 press ups or 2,000 press ups in an hour. It might have been 2,000 press ups in sets of hundreds. Yeah, I was like really strong, yeah, and I would do hundreds at a time, then got down to 50s and 20s, and then boost it back up again. Yeah, and Ricky Curly was doing the same, but doing sit ups, yeah. Ricky Curly, good sit up, mate. Could do a sit up, Rick. But me, I was very powerful on the press ups. Bill, good skipper. Bill, good skipper, mate. You know, he was Billy Blundell, good skipper. He could skip, mate. I see when Blundell will skip for an hour, non-stop, mate. Just keep skipping. Never see his feet. Just keep going, bang, 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 bang. And when I come out of prison, you know, I was Bill giving me his address. And I went round to see Bill, and I went into his place. He had a beautiful place, mate. He had a beautiful place, you know, massive, great big lake. I think it was a reservoir as it happens, but there was still lots of carp fishing in there. I think it was a joint on one, so it was running water. Yeah, mate, it's just some big carp fishing in there, and he had a boxing ring in his front room. Bill, yeah, I liked our Bill, mate. You know, when I look back at Maidstone Prison and some good people in there, you know, some really good people. When a Pat was in there, Pat Adams was in there. I like Pat. I mean, me and Pat in Albany, very close, mate. We was close in Albany, me and Pat. You know, Pat. I liked him because he wasn't a liberty taker. He wasn't. He done a lot of shouting, Pat. He did shout a bit, but he wasn't a liberty taker. You know, he looks after everybody that was with Pat. Got looked after, mate. Pat looked after everybody. He was one of the guys you could talk to and talk to him straight away. You know, there's no, you know, poor lot like him. You know, once you start talking to you, you like him, yeah. And I really like Pat. And then, I mean, when I was at Albany with him, I trained him a lot to do curls and all that. His arms were getting massive, Pat. And then, you know, then he went to Maidstone, and that's where I see him in Maidstone again. Yeah, I think Pat was on my wing, world wing. I remember one day Pat come down to me. It's no, I didn't have no visits really when I was at Maidstone. Didn't have many. Pat come down, give me a load of socks, t-shirts, you know, trainers, and all that. Yeah, he's coming at me all the time, giving me stuff, Pat. I like Maidstone Prison. Maidstone Prison was okay. What a good guy in Maidstone Prison that I met. We had a little bit of a fallout, but he was a nice guy. He died. He OD'd. I believe someone told me that he OD'd when he come out of prison on coke. Whether that's true, it could be just, you know, someone just said something about it, and he's picked up and got bigger and bigger and bigger. Bobby Dixie, mate. Yeah, me and Bill, me and Bob, we fell out in Maidstone, but you know, Bobby Dixie was a nice geezer. Freddie Lloyd, he was always with Freddie Lloyd, and who else is it? There was about 4 or 5 that Bobby Dixie used to be wrapped around. Patrick Fraser used to be wrapped around. Davy Fraser, yes, all them nice people. What was his? There was another one. Anyway, it comes to me in a minute, yeah. But Bobby Dixie, yeah, sweet man. He was a nice guy, a really nice guy. When I come out, I was with Mickey, and we used to go to Pal Joey's, and I was in there one day in Pal Joey's dancing. I'm a bit of a swinger, mate. You know what I mean? I was dancing, and you know, was going like a lunatic. But what was I on? I was on a few E's, yeah, a couple of double dubs. I was dancing like in that case as you do. And Bobby Dixie was over there sitting at the table with some people. And Bobby Dixie showed out, what way you going, mate, and all that. I like it. It was respect, mate. A lot of respect. I like Bob, mate. Even, as I say, even though we fell out, Bob, we fell out over Stevie Dawn, it was. Yeah, Stevie Dawn, me and Steve had a little fight. But Steve is a nice guy, man. I like Steve, but you fall out sometimes over silly things, you know what I mean? Yeah, and Bobby Dixie didn't like it. Bobby Dixie, you know, was going to stab me to death in Maidstone. I swear. I was sitting in the front watching a film, and Bobby Dixie was behind me, some people. Yeah, Bobby Dixie pulled out a big blade that they made, and he wanted to do me with it, you know. But me and Bob had a few words, and it got, it was just left like that. There were some proper nice guys at Mason Prison. You could always, I mean, Billy Blundell, when I see him in the gym, sparring with Ricky Curly, and I liked him. I just liked the way he was, a nice man. You know what I mean? I didn't, as I say, I went and see him once at his home, at his place. After that, I didn't really see him a lot. You know what I mean? But it's like you move on, don't you? And then I was sort of like was wrapped around I think a lot of people at that time. A lot of bad people at that time. Not bad people, but good people, but bad, i.e., in the ways that people got a bit frightened of them. You know what I mean? But they were good people. Yeah, Bob, Bobby Dixie. I had a lot of respect for Bob. His son got hold of me a couple of times since I went out of prison. Just say, look, because I did say a few bad things about Bobby Dixie. His son got hold of me and said, look, Ray, bit of respect for my dad, yeah? He's dead. I went, sorry, mate, I apologise. You know what I mean? I didn't mean it, like that. But yeah, Bobby Dixie, sweet man. Bobby Dixie, sweet man. I like Bob. Who else is in there that I really, I mean, Ricky Curly. I mean, me and Ricky Curly, close. We was very close in Mason. We used to train every day. Me and Ricky Curly, so every day in the gym, on the bags, sparring, yeah, every day. I mean, I've said it before. I met this black guy in there, mate. He was a my wing world. He was I suppose he was a cruiserweight, tall guy, very lanky, long arms. You look at him, he walked a bit quarter to three. Wasn't nothing to look at. Didn't have a massive frame, just long, tall, very wiry. And one day I come unstuck with that guy, mate. I was in Mason, and I had a few rounds with Ricky Curly. This black guy said to me, "Drawn a few rounds, mate." He smashed me to pieces. He just swear my life. He bashed me up, mate. He bashed me up. I just couldn't get away from him. I just couldn't get away from his punches. He really. I mean, when I got out of there and I walked to World Wing, he was in World as well. I walked to World Wing, mate, and when I went down for my food, people were looking at me and thinking, "Fuck me, who's bashed him up?" You know what I mean? And I was in a bad way. My face was smashed to pieces. All the eyes were blue, really shut. My nose was all wide. My lips was all split. Yeah, man, he bashed me right up. Yeah, and this guy, I'd love to know this guy's name, remember his name, but I can't, Ricky Curly, I've got to say it, Ricky Curly really did get young about it. Ricky Curly, wanted to bash him up, in the gym. But I said, leave it, Rick. Leave it, mate. It's not like, it isn't about like that, but Ricky Curly was behind me 100%, 100%, mate, and I miss, you miss your pals like that. You miss your pals. You miss them, mate. And, yeah, Mason was a good nick for me. Mason was good. But, a lot of people say about Pat and Billy Blundell when they had the fight in Mason. It was not a fight. It wasn't one of them things where someone's getting it on the chin and on the floor and they jump on top of each other and all that game. It wasn't all into that. It was just it was a little bit verbally, little few punches thrown here and there. It was in the gym as well. So, but what I see was outside the gym, by the side of it, and it wasn't. Ricky Curly run across, really. It was Ricky Curly and Vic Dark that stopped it, that stopped the fight, It wasn't a fight. Everyone made it out to be a fight. It wasn't a fight, mate, at all. You know, Bill, he's got his big company and he's got his own company. Pat Adams, the Adams' company is very, very heavy, very heavy. And you know, I wouldn't like to say, you know, at the end of the day, what was what, yeah. But what I do know that Billy Blundell was person that says if he said something, he would do it, yeah. Yeah, like you know, like he talks about. When people say to me, you know, about Essex boys and this, I didn't know who they were, mate. I didn't know who the Essex boys were. I never even heard of them, mate. I never heard of the Essex boys. It's only Billy Blundell talking about the Essex boys and they take the piss and they take liberties and they're going to get sorted. And that was it. You know, I never thought there was, I never heard anything about them as you know, as big, heavy people. You know what I mean? Because really, when you are yourself a bit heavy, you don't really bother about hearing about them stupid, silly people like that. You know what I mean? You know, I didn't really get involved in that shit. But you know, Bill, without a shadow of a doubt, you know, you wouldn't want him on your case. You would not want him on your case. He's very, very heavy. And when I hear the story about him and Lou Yates, and Lou Yates put it on Bill, wouldn't have ever happened. That would never have happened. Never in a million years, mate. You know, Lou Yates wouldn't have wouldn't have lasted where he lasted if he'd have done it to Billy Blundell. Believe me. If he had a fight in a club with Bill, he wouldn't have lasted too long in that club. I'm going to assure you that. You don't fight them people and expect to walk out of that club and everything's hunky dory. You don't do that. It ain't like that. But them people respect you people, and you know if they have a fight, they have a fight. They don't fight, you know, fisticuffs either. Sometimes, you know what I mean. It ain't about that. In prison maybe, but not out on the road, mate. It ain't fisticuffs, is it? You know what I mean? It's a bit more dangerous than that, you know. Yeah, Billy Blundell, mate. Respect to him, respect to Eddie, respect to Bill's family, mate. It's, you know, and you know, rest in peace, Billy Blundell. A nice guy, mate. Yeah, you know, and then you know, I got involved with all other people, you know, Johnny Critterton, Jimmy Tibbert. I got like, big stories, man. I still got big stories, even to tell today when I start talking about these things and other things come in my head. You know what I did, what I didn't do, and all this crap. Yeah. But anyway, bang bang mail, nice one.